All right, everyone. Welcome to Table Reads on ScriptCamp. I am your host, Gray, and at this event, we read through our submissions from our members. We give feedback. We have a jolly old time. If you choose to play a character in a script or give feedback, I will bestow upon you script coins. Script coins is a currency here on the server. I'll post the blurb in the chat. There it is. You can buy various merch. If you have 100 script coins, you can purchase your very own, take a breath, full length reading of your TV pilot or feature. You can get that. So do be sure to participate. Let's see, we have 2 submissions today. Our first is from Smash Guy. See, or Terry. I keep on, anytime someone changes their username, I'm always losing my mind. Let's see. Okay, yes, this is Flutter from Terry. This is a adventure / kids and family feature. Logline is when a bird attack forces a colony of insects to depend on an invasive hornet armada for protection. A free-thinking butterfly traverses across a dangerous estuary to prove their self-reliance. Feedback we're looking for. These scenes are a part of the catalyst and set the character off on his journey. A lot of missing context, but definitely looking to punch up these scenes and ensure they really set the tone for the end of Act 1. No content warning. Anything to add before we start, Terry?
No, that's really it. I must apologize in advance for not having, I guess, the full context of the scene. But these 5 pages in particular, I feel like I just want to make sure they flow well, and if there's anything that could make them stronger, in terms of just my writing, if there's anything I'm missing.
Sounds good. Let's see. On the other server I know of that has readings on the stage format, it usually says like who wants to read a part in a script, and then I choose them and they come on here, but we already have people on stage. So, yeah, I'm assuming all of you in the audience who haven't raised your hand yet are okay with not having a part in this coming script, but and once we do get started, I will ask everyone on stage go back to the audience just so we can keep our exclusively our readers on the stage. But yes, I'll go through the list now. Anyone want the part of Leaf?
I can't actually see the script. Where do I click to look at that?
So it will be on the stream in just a minute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And anyone who is unable to stream, it will be on Table Reads info PDF on there. But yeah, for best results, click on Joel's screen.
I can take Leaf.
Thank you, Morgana.
Let's see.
And Vespa. Who wants Vespa?
I could read for Vespa.
That was Marcus?
Yep.
Thank you, Marcus. Anyone for Orion?
Yeah, I'll take that one.
Thank you, Zach. Karis, would anyone like to do Karis?
Yeah, I can.
I'll do Karis. Oh.
You can do it. I don't mind.
Yeah.
All right.
The violin, I'll give you Karis. Joe, would you like to be Fern?
Sure.
Ooh. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I'm trying to find Karis because there's Vespa, Leaf, Aaron, Leaf.
I think Karis has one line. Yeah, Karis has one line. Orion has
Captain
2 lines.
Karis. Okay, gotcha.
But yeah, thank you all for your patience as I navigate stage format today. As I've said, this change may or may not be permanent. We'll see how you guys enjoy it and how it contributes to the order of the table read. Also, I'm just going to post the parts or the castings in the chat attached to the Table Reads chat. So you don't have to keep on swapping between that and the other channel.
There we go. Okay.
But yeah, I will go ahead with direction now. Wait, how do I make the stream bigger? Oh no, we already read the logline. Exterior, the market, day. Insects begin to pick up the pieces of a market left in shambles. Chancellor Keen and Fern watch on and take.
As I said, our service is invaluable.
Vespa makes her leave. She stops at Fern with a smirk.
Is that a hibiscus I smell?
Do you like it?
I hate it.
Fern's mood deflates. Exterior, the courtyard, day. Leaf stands with Karis and Orion. A crowd surrounds them. Vespa watches the Karis perform a thorough inspection of his messenger bag. He pulls out Oleander's drawing and examines it.
He's a children's teacher.
For a moment, I took you as a sad artist.
Leaf rolls his eyes.
Gee, thanks.
Vespa grabs the report from Karis.
I struggled to believe a children's teacher would be responsible for all this. Yet here we are.
Vespa takes one last look at the praying mantis in the draw. She discards Leaf's bag with disgust.
Vile creeps.
Leaf grabs his bag and shakes the dust off it.
You know, if it weren't for you guys hoarding tree sap over our home, we wouldn't have this issue. I want to make sure we saw the same bird attack.
I'd hold your proboscis if I were you. You're lucky a child wasn't killed today.
Hummingbirds are harmless. Sure, they can be dangerous, but they wouldn't mindlessly attack a bug unless provoked. Plus, are you aware of the opportunity it just gave us?
What are you getting at?
There are still flowers out there, and thanks to that bird, there's proof.
Leaf shows Vespa the flower petal. Fear grows on her face. The crowd gasps.
Where did you get that?
It came off the bird, which further proves my point. There are flowers out there. Once we find this place, we can start gathering resources for ourselves again. We won't need them to provide for us.
Vespa slams her head against the sundial to stop him. She hovers over Leaf. Her abdomen presses against Orion.
You think this is a silly game? Let me remind you that I carry a huge legacy with me.
Huge is one way of putting it.
Things change. It's current season, after all. Besides, a war hero such as myself always knows what's best for a colony.
Vespa rips the petal and throws it at Leaf's feet.
I've experienced firsthand what you've only read about, so I suggest you drop the subject before you make yourself sound more foolish.
We could be so much better off and perhaps find a way to feed ourselves. Doesn't anybody care about that?
The crowd avoids eye contact with Leaf, afraid to speak up.
I believe your silence speaks louder than your words ever could.
Vespa turns away from Leaf.
I'm done humoring this pest. I have more pressing matters to attend to.
Leaf kneels down to pick up the piece of petal. The crowd disperses the scene.
But this is who we are. Doesn't anyone care?
Leaf is left alone. Exterior, the market, night. Merchants close their shops as the sun sets. Leaf passes by the scene, taking the destruction all in. His mind races as he gazes at the petal. Exterior, the greenhouse, night. Leaf stops at a worn building. Unkempt vines coil around its stained glass walls. It has seen better days. A sliver of light peeks from behind its doors. It allures Leaf. Into interior, the greenhouse, night. Leaf gently pushes open the wooden door.
Hello? Anyone here?
No response. Leaf steps in and takes in the room. A leafy vine extends to the ceiling. Newly formed chrysalises hang from it. Stained glass windows depict butterflies following a hummingbird over a sea of flowers. Moonlight illuminates them and gives the room a radiant ambience. Leaf hovers around the vine, taking it all in. He reads one of the nameplates, Oleander. Leaf places a hand on Oleander's chrysalis. It soothes him.
Me?
Leaf flinches as Fern appears from the corridor.
Oh, Fern. Sorry. I was just checking on some of my students. You can leave if you'd like.
I forgot to look up. Been a long afternoon.
Tell me about it.
Fern flitters over to Leaf. He sighs.
You can't blame yourself for what happened today. You weren't calling for a bird, were you?
No, of course not. Just because I don't agree with Chancellor Keen allowing
What don't you like about
everything. Rationing our food, having control of our lives. This isn't who we are.
Leaf flies over to the stained glass mural.
This is who we are. Taking risk, venturing out into the unknown, being free. I just worry we are losing touch with who we actually are.
Leaf, don't make me choose sides.
I don't want you to take a side. I just want you to understand mine.
Leaf looks at the petal. Sunlight begins to trickle in and light up the room.
There are flowers still out there. I'm gonna find that bird and wherever those flowers are.
Leaf, no, you can't be serious.
I have to do this. I'll never inspire anyone sitting around and going with the flow.
Leaf, you've never taken wing outside of this place. How do you expect to get far?
Leaf hesitates.
I'm a teacher. I know enough.
Leaf flies out of the greenhouse. Fern turns back to Oleander's chrysalis. All right. Great reading, everyone. And thank you, Terry, for sharing. Let's see, usually what I see in the, okay. Yes, now we go through our cast, quote unquote, and ask for their feedback first if they have any. And for the rest of you, if you want to give feedback, you can raise your hand and I will invite you onto the stage. We're not going to go down a list like we usually do, so keep that in mind. But yes, any of our voice actors want to give feedback first?
I'll go. Can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'll go first. I want to say right away, the world building, I really like. I'm invested right away. Yeah, Leaf's desire to go out and explore the world is, I mean, it's as classic a story as you can get. You know, I want to explore the world. I want to see, new things. But I am invested in the idea of the ruling class suppressing everybody and keeping them from exploring outward. That gives the character drive to to want to explore outward. It's not just an arbitrary desire that there's a reason that they want to get out, that there is suppression from the ruling class. I think, though, I was a bit confused about that at first. I feel like a bit more emphasis on characters like Chancellor Keen and Captain Karras, I think, would be to see what effect they have on people, and not just not just everybody talking about being suppressed. I'd see how they how those characters affect everybody. I think, but at the same time, you were working with only 5 pages, so you could only do so much. And I think focusing more on Leaf at the end rather than the ruling class, I think was the better choice. But if you had more pages to play with, I think it might benefit you to kind of focus a little bit on what is oppressing Leaf to make them want to leave, because that got me invested, that they were being suppressed from leaving. Does that make any sense?
Thanks so much, Violin. And let's hang on. Oh, well, there you are.
Yeah, it does, and you are right. I think a lot of it was a lot of these scenes are a bit out of context because it's just at the tail end of the catalyst. And I did a little bit of at least with Keen and Karras, as you mentioned, they get a little bit more time, but Yeah,
Okay.
I
Yeah,
absolutely like.
so this
I
is an
like the
excerpt.
angle you're talking about in
Yeah.
terms of, that's an interesting way to kind of look into how I would kind of reorganize these scenes. In particular, like Vespa's, scenes in itself, maybe emphasize more on the idea of being more secure. So,
Yeah.
really appreciate the feedback. Thank you.
Yeah, not a problem.
All right. Let's see who else up here wanted to give feedback.
Yeah, I'll go. I really like this. I thought the dialogue was really good. Each kind of, Leaf and Vesper have very unique voices that are different to them. But similar to what Violin said, at the start of this little sort of 5-pager, you don't really realize that they're all fighting to not be oppressed. And it's only until probably after about page 3, so into page 4, where their goal becomes, you can tell what their goal is. You can tell that these guys want to be free, and they want to live more than they're currently living. And I don't know where this sits in terms of what the actual page numbers are, but if this is the end of Act 1 and it's a feature, I'd probably want to move this a little bit more forward. That's just the way I would do it, but I think the dialogue is kind of like brilliant for me. I really liked it. Reading it and just not listening to the guys, I think it flowed really nicely between the characters.
Thank you, Zach. Any of our other actors want to give feedback?
Yeah, I guess. Overall, it's pretty all right. I think you get across your point very clear. This is supposed to be at the very buck end of after the catalyst for the story. I'm assuming, and like right before we start entering the in between the first and the second act. I'm gonna assume, right? Oh, Terry's in the audience. Uh,
One other reason we were like trying out stage format was to well, sorry, I keep on seeing you pop in and out on the text chat over there.
Yeah, I think so. The writers, if you don't mind, just to wait until after the feedback, and then you can ask questions and stuff if you have clarifying questions.
okay, but I like as a whole, it's pretty good. I personally didn't really see anything that like stuck out to me necessarily. I think there's one offhand comment at the very beginning where it's like for a moment I took you as a sad artist. I think that's funny alone. That's funny enough. And then it has the whole part where it's like Leaf like, gee, thanks. Like I don't necessarily think you really need that. I think like just that super dry, I mistook you for a sad artist. Like that's funny. Just have that be the punchline and then just continue on with the scene. At least that's maybe just me. But there's a very clear structure for this that I feel is very obvious, that I appreciate. The fact that it's kind of like very blunt about the ruling class basically oppressing the quote unquote creativity and the want to explore from the normal people. The fact that there's a fear there to even speak out against that, I think that's a really nice detail. I guess I'm more kind of struggling to see where this is specifically unique, because like it's interesting. Don't get me wrong, it's more just I'm seeing just a bit too much similarities between like other works, and maybe that's like just a me thing, or I have no clue. But like, you have the whole bug monarchy thing, and like, Ants Bugs Life did that, obviously. There's like, the birds and all that. I don't really know. Maybe like this is probably just a very personal thing, so I apologize because I don't know how much I could really comment on that. But like, it just seems a bit like maybe just a little bit too derivative, if that makes any sense. But other than that, it's pretty good. It gets your point across pretty well, and you know, just I don't know. There's something with that is kind of holding me back from really getting invested into it.
Thanks, Marcus. And anything from Joel or Morgana regarding the script? Okay, let's see. Go to Nacho. Got your hand up. There you are.
Yeah, I really I've seen like several different versions of this over like I think about the past year, right? And it's been really cool. This is definitely like your writing on the page has it's gotten a lot more polished. Like this is some great sort of description lines, and the dialogue is strong. But I guess it's a little hard to. This feels like this is probably like a really pivotal or some kind of climactic moment in the story, and I'm not understanding exactly the backstory of like what happened before, so it's hard to kind of like get invested in this like moment that seems like it's kind of really important, right? Like I guess like the one thing I would say, like Marcus gave a really kind of inspired performance as Vespa, and I think I'm just like the dialogue on the page. I would try to differentiate a little bit more between Leaf's and Vespa's voices, right? So, like, I think Marcus kind of made some choices that kind of helped to differentiate a little bit. But just looking at just the actual words on the page, like I would really try to just give Leaf a little bit different way of talking, or try to maybe go through and just look at each character, because what I'm it feels a bit stilted, like on page 2. Some of the exchanges just feel like it would benefit from just sort of I think you're in the stage now where you're kind of more polishing, right? You've already, I think you've gone through a lot of work on this project, and I would say go through definitely a lot of the descriptions feel way a lot more polished. I can follow what's happening. Just I guess I'd encourage you to kind of take a pass where you're going through with just looking at one character, so just Leaf and just or just Vespa or whoever, just kind of looking at the script from their point of view and trying to kind of find a little bit different sort of speech patterns, or just ways to kind of differentiate them a little bit. And I'm picking on you more because I've seen how much it's improved over time. And a couple of just smaller things, like on page 4, you've got some kind of big action blocks. I would just try to break them up a little bit, so it's and maybe use more shorter sentences, more concise sentences. And try to think about each new shot, maybe like bring it down to a new paragraph. And yeah, I mean, generally, I think this is a really cool moment. It's just that from not having, it's been a while since I read the other parts of the script, so I didn't quite get the significance of like that he found the flower, and that kind of exactly understand the conflict between Leaf and Vespa in this scene. But it feels like a pivotal moment. And I think just the very first page, Chancellor Keen and Frank watch on and take. I didn't quite understand that sentence. It was a little bit unclear for me. But it's great to see how far this has come. So definitely look forward to reading more.
Thank you, Nacho. Don't think anyone else in the audience has hand raised. Let's see. Not sure I can say anything that somebody else hasn't said yet. World building's great. Dialogue's great. Differentiating between characters. I think the more times I read through the script, or like the little snippets I see, I think Vespa is like a very good antagonist. And I think I've seen like preemptive designs for her at some point, but yeah, I can't really come up with anything helpful to say right now. If I think of something relevant later, I will let you know. But thanks for sharing with us, Terry. I hope some of the feedback helps. Any closing notes?
Yeah, no, really appreciate everybody's feedback. I know this story has evolved a ton within the last year, so I do apologize for any lack of context or snippets everywhere. But I think the advice on the dialogue, it really, it's definitely something I'm gonna look into as I continue to polish, because it really does feel like I'm in that phase with this project. Of just making sure everything hits well and is in present tense and whatever you call it. But I'm gonna look into that tactic tremendously and see how I can make it just stand out a little bit more from the current story beats that I currently have. But thank you guys very much.
Yeah. Willow says, I like this, and this has helped me to understand Leaf's point of view. In past readings, I have struggled to understand that. His naivete was obvious, but not his shattered belief system. Wish there was more amazement of the surrounding world, like how Rapunzel does throughout Tangled. Her worldview is turned upside down. All right, thanks, Willow. But yeah, looks like we're through the feedback for this script. Let's see, on to the next one. I'm just gonna put the file in this chat so we don't have to keep on hopping back and forth. Here we go, that's the next script. This is My Name from Zach. This is a political thriller drama TV pilot. Logline is a former gangster runs for mayor of Manchester, but when an ex-lover threatens to ruin his reputation, he resorts to murder to protect his political aspirations. Content warning for violence and death. Zach, I think you said you were gonna tell us what kind of feedback you're looking for.
I do have questions for feedback, but I'll post them after the read because I realised that if I post them now, they'll give a few things away.
Okay, got it. Let's see, it looks like we have just direction and then I think Max and Emma for this.
Yeah, just the two speakers.
Oh, okay, got it. Well, who wants to be Max?
I can be Max.
One for the role of Max.
I can be Max.
Thank you, Joel. And anyone for Emma?
I'll take Emma.
Thank you, Violin. And does anyone want direction for this script since there's so few parts?
I don't mind doing direction.
Oh, you want to do it, Terry?
Yes.
Thank you. There's the parts then. And yep, if everyone has the PDF down, oh, Merrickson, you need to raise your hand to speak. Yeah. Sorry. All right, but yeah, go ahead.
Are you ready?
I'm just getting myself in the zone.
Okay, I'm gonna start. Establishing Manchester, night. Rain lashes down as we pass through Deansgate, Manchester, the city's main thoroughfare with shops, restaurants, and skyscrapers on both sides. We move further down the street to find a locked construction site. We go through the gates. Exterior construction site, night. A myriad of equipment, diggers, excavators, portable toilets, tower cranes, and more that are covered by plastic sheets. The workmen have gone home. Metal beams and concrete slabs form an uncovered gigantic structure reaching high into the night sky. As we peer up, there appears to be an object teetering on the edge of a metal beam. We fly up the side of the structure. Exterior construction site, unfinished floor, continuous. Emma Byrne, 39, tears flowing, smeared makeup, shivers in her black dress, wails hysterically as she sits on a chair, balanced on the beam.
Please, Max. Please.
As we inspect her, we find her hands and feet tied, with her nails pulled from their beds.
Everything I did for you. This is how you repay me.
Max Willocks, 32, self-identified incel, rocks a bloody three-piece suit and dark glasses, steps onto the beam, holds a newspaper, anger across his face. He inches closer to Emma. She winces, petrified.
I made you, Emma. I gave you story after story to get you where you are. And this is how you repay me.
I didn't write that, Matt. I didn't put my name on it.
Whether you wrote it, edited it, it doesn't matter. Those words will always be yours.
He rips out pages and lets them fly into the night.
You publishing this article is a message to everyone down there that I cannot be trusted. That I am a bad person, a fake, a liar.
Where can I do this, Matt?
No, we can't. No, we can't.
He kneels down so they are face to face.
I thought I could trust you. I thought you were my friend. Our history, our past, everything I did for you.
He rips more pages and lets the wind take them.
I'm still here. Please, I'm still your friend. Just let me go. Just let me go, Matt.
Max shakes his head.
I can't do that. You told everyone that I'll bring death and destruction if I'm elected mayor. And you're right.
Emma's eyes open wide.
This isn't an opinionated piece. This is a prophecy.
She shuffles, desperately trying to loosen the knots.
You are right, Emma. I want this world to suffer. I want everyone who slighted me, everyone who gave me funny looks, everyone who bullied me, everyone who said a bad word about me, to suffer. I want to watch them burn in a city they love so deeply. See this?
He holds up the paper. We finally see the front page headline. Max Willocks, a monster in a nice suit.
Thank you for awakening the monster within me. Without you, Emma, I would never have become the person.
No, Max. No, you're a...
He shoves the newspaper in her mouth, shuts her up. Emma mumbles. Tears stream down her face. Max positions his foot under the chair.
Goodbye, Emma.
An expression of despair / fear comes over Emma's face. Max flexes his foot. The chair tilts backwards, topples over the edge. Exterior construction site continues. Emma careens towards the ground at breakneck speed. She closes her eyes, prays eternally. Exterior construction site, unfinished floor, continuous. Max stands on the beam, looks out at Manchester's night sky, devoid of all emotion, seemingly unaffected by his actions. Cut to black.
Jeez, that's dark.
Wow. Yeah, this really took a turn. Thank you all for reading. Thank you, Zach, for sharing. Violin, loved your about to die voice. You really sold it. Also, the part shoving newspaper in your mouth. Okay. Zach says, feedback wanted. Given the dynamics of man versus woman, how would you feel if the roles were reversed? Would it be less realistic? The dude is obviously a bad guy, and I want him to be a bad guy. But would you follow a bad guy to see them lose rather than follow a good guy to see them win? There are two options, and I went with the less violent one for this. The other one is Max actually holding Emma out over the beam like Rafiki holds Simba, but more killing rather than showing off. If something is too violent, would you stop reading? All right then, let's see. Any of our actors want to weigh in first?
I will say that in regards to if something is too violent, will I stop reading? It's not a matter of if something is too violent. It's a matter of something is needlessly violent. Like violence has its place. You know, if you're trying to tell a story through your violence, you know, that's one thing. But like just violence for the sake of violence can be what's the word? Gratuitous. There's a word. That's a word. Gratuitous. Now I would say that the violence here, it's actually not that violent. I mean, yes, pushing somebody off of a high building, I mean, that is violence against someone, but like it's all implied, we don't see it. And yeah, I'd say this is not something that I would like. I wouldn't stop reading it just because he pushes her off a building, although that does make him quite unlikable, obviously. But that's he's a bad guy, and you're going for that. I don't know. I feel like I'm struggling to see the purpose. Like, yeah, he wants to watch the world burn, but like, what's his antagonist? You know, if he's the protagonist, if he's like kind of a Joker character where he just wants to watch the world burn, then who is, not to get literal, but like, who's his Batman? You know, who's the person that's trying to stop him? You know, who this almost, it almost feels like you're trying to do Dark Knight from the perspective of the Joker, which that can be a really interesting perspective to have, because like you really don't know what he's thinking, and like maybe he, you know, as a protagonist, he may be an unreliable narrator. He may be lying to you, you know. So this is definitely something interesting. But yeah, I'll give the floor to someone else.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So go.
Oh, that was what do you think, Joel?
Yeah, I thought it was a great, a nice read. I would say that I do like having a villain to watch as the protagonist. I think that can work. It has to be done carefully though, because as Ryan said, you want to create some reason to like this person, and most people aren't going to like Max because he pushed someone off a building. We can make them more likable while still seeing that if we if we see the reason why, and maybe they put some thought into it, or there's a clever method that they've come up with in order to dispose of this person, or there's different ways for us to like a villain, even if they're doing something kind of illegal. And so I think it's a lot about trying to figure out the motive, and we need to see the reasons why they want to cause other people pain. And what is it about this character that we're supposed to like? Yeah, as a scene by itself, I think this is quite good. But obviously, you don't want this whole the whole script to be this sort of tone. You are going to want to have to give us someone to like, essentially, is what I'm trying to say, I guess.
Thanks, Joel. Terry, did you have any feedback since you're our last reader?
Yeah, so I guess if I had a bit more context, I'm not sure if you could throw it into the is this a part of a feature? Or is this is this a short or some kind of
Apparently it's a pilot.
Okay, so it's a pilot. Because I don't necessarily have an issue. I mean, when it comes to the violence in it, especially for this scene, I feel like you can definitely make it, more wrapped up within 4 pages, unless this is like the climax of it. I feel like I really really like your description for your settings. I could totally imagine the construction site and the all of Manchester as a whole. It's to go to your specific questions. If the roles were reversed, would it be less realistic? I think that's kind of the fun part about just writing as a whole. You kind of do anything you want. I don't know if for whichever story. I don't think the gender being reversed would really make that much of a difference. Because at some point, most people jump into a TV show or a movie with this bit of like expectation of disbelief. And my only thing I'm such a stickler for how everything is on a technical level. I felt like there's a few of the action in particular I felt was written in past tense, and I would necessarily try to avoid that. The one example would be, let me see. Okay, like she shuffles desperately, or that I guess desperately would be. I'll have to point this out later. I just felt like there were times where some of the action did feel a bit past tense, and that could always be punched up and made more effective with present tense writing. But aside from that, I do feel like your descriptions, your dialogue were pretty solid for this scene. It's really just a matter of that additional context with the rest of the pilot, but I'm sure you have a really good idea of where it's going. So definitely keep at it, and looking forward to seeing more of it.
Thanks, Terry. See Morgana's on stage.
Yeah. I kind of what Joel was saying in terms of like making the character, despite being a bad guy, making the character more likable. There's nothing wrong with you're asking, what is it? Like, would you follow a bad guy? Some of the most popular shows of all time are about bad guys, like The Sopranos or Breaking Bad. The difference is the things that makes those shows work, like in The Sopranos and the pilot for that. Tony beats up a guy, runs over him with a car in broad daylight, but even though he's like an evil guy, he is likable. You can see why he rose to where he became. And you see, like, when he's talking to his therapist and you're doing the flashbacks, all the things that make him sympathetic with his, just his daily life with his uncle and his mom, who's crazy. And, like, I don't know, like an incel misogynist, it's going to be hard to make that a likable person. So I guess that's what, like, try to find that sympathy for that character. Because, like I said, there's nothing wrong with a TV show about a bad guy.
Yeah, but like right away, you are kind of at a disadvantage by making the character an incel, which, like, generally speaking, is an unlikable concept in our society. So yeah, you got to do some extra footwork to like make the audience like sympathize with an incel, you know.
Thanks, Morgana. See Dan's on stage as well.
Yes. I'm going to go in a different direction than saying incel, and I'm going to say that this story has a different sort of problem. One I see a lot. It hasn't gone away with time. And that's the idea that I was bullied, so now I'm justified in doing evil and atrocious acts as a villain. Even though I'm not, it's almost like it almost gives up this really, really bad message about villainy. About being bullied, and that it's like it's not okay to want to get back at being bullied. Am I making sense? It's
Yeah, you're
almost
making
like
perfect
saying,
sense.
because I was bullied, my only option is to do evil acts. And I see it a lot. It's this whole, you all made fun of me, now I'm going to kill you or whatever. So, and it's just a really, really bad message, especially in today's day and age of bullying and the reactions people take against those who are who tease and mock, or even use physical. If anything, I was going, okay, so this character, that I guess the problem is that it's a word I rarely, and I mean very, very rarely use, but I think this is a problematic thing because it's yet another story in this long line of, oh, well, we don't need any other reason because for this person to become the destroyer of the world other than he was picked on a bunch. That just sends a really almost lazy message, almost sad message, and just a message that doesn't give a lot of justice to the idea of, I don't know, just a bad message. It feels unhealthy. It just says it's okay to bully you because you're going to do evil things because that's what bullied people do. So I have to bully you until you don't.
All right, anything else? Thanks, Dan. Let's see. Merrickson. So sorry. I thought like
Don't
you
worry
were
about it.
here
You're
reading.
good. Don't worry about it. First of all, I am all for the gratuitous violence. The more, the merrier. So I hope he goes down and then kills his cab driver or whatever. I really like this idea, and yeah, it's shocking and horrid. But sometimes characters like this fascinate us, and we can't just be, as Dan was kind of saying, like we can't just be wagging our fingers, um, like using celluloid to like wag our fingers at society and be like, oh, this is wrong. It, if we think of it that way, it comes off very like, if you guys are familiar with the Dar Man videos, how it's very cut and it's like cut black and white, where the bad guy always loses and immediately faces like consequences for their negative behavior. Like if you're bullied, if you're bullying someone immediately, yeah, preachy, thank you. Preachy is what we're trying to avoid here. So there's a lot of ways to go about subject matter like this. Obviously, we all generally know that bullying is wrong, but it does come off preachy if immediately the bully like gets his comeuppance, or if everyone's supposed to just be, living in some, blissful utopia where everyone's nice to each other. There's going to be stories like this, and that's okay. Um, Going back to the actual questions that you were asking, Zach. Let's see. Um, I think that this would be interesting, just as interesting if the roles were reversed. I think it could work out. I'm fine with it as it is, but if you were to switch them, then I don't know. I think this thing could still work. The next question was about him wanting to be a bad guy. I'm fine following a bad guy and seeing them die at the end, like having some, epic shootout with the police or something, and they die or whatever, or they're sent to prison or something like that for their actions. And then the list options of violence. I don't agree with the Rafiki style kind of lifting her, lifting her above his head and then like throwing her down. I think that's a little too much. I think visually we don't need that. My notes were just basically maybe just like dial back on the overtly incel stuff. Maybe we can sort of gradually uh, make it so that the audience can gradually come to that conclusion on their own, depending on like certain things he says, what he does. The audience, it would be better to just let the audience like come to that conclusion on their own. Just sort of instill that kind of doubt, like, is this guy an incel? And have them questioning it for like several pages until there's a defining moment where we're like, this guy's total incel. You don't have to say it right on the page, right on the very first page or something like that. Yeah, I really like the sort of camera direction. I just don't feel like you need so many we's. You can probably pick out the ones that are necessary for like camera angles and stuff, but then we don't need all the we's for the other stuff where we peer at the construction or something like that, where we use just a little too many we's. And then my main note was that some of Max's dialogue just feels a little too overtly noir-ish. Like it could almost be read like as one of those, black and white film noir where he's like, "Thank you for awakening the monster within me." That just feels, I don't know, it seems a little too stylish for the tone that you seem to be trying. Unless you are going for that tone. If you are, then keep it up. But it conveys a little too much um, in terms of his character. It gives away too much of his thoughts, I guess. I don't know. It's almost like it's comic booky, I guess, in some parts. Anyway, that's all. It's really great, and yeah, I hope I can read more. More violence, yay!
Mhm. I did want to jump in really quick. In terms of one of the questions you asked would be, the dude is obviously a bad guy, and I want him to be a bad guy. But would you follow a bad guy to see them lose rather than follow a good guy to see them win? I really think it depends on the context of what the so-called bad guy is going through. I know a lot of people have thrown Joker as an example. I actually look at Law Abiding Citizen in this example. It's a 2009 movie where a guy is out looking, a guy's family is murdered, and he at this point he not only wants to get revenge on those that were hurt his family, but he wants to take the whole system down. Um, and it turns from he's doing bad things, like really horrible things, but it's done so in the sense that because of what he's been through, it feels like it's justified. I don't know if that's the kind of thing that you're looking to throw in with Max, but I definitely would check out that movie for to see if there's something that can inspire you for writing a character like for writing a protagonist of someone that does really bad things. And I think a lot of just media in general the last 5 years has a lot of that you know rooting for the bad guy type deal, or rooting for who doing things that aren't always morally correct. So I think it really goes back to just how you think what would be the best course of action for this character. And I think you'll find an audience just by writing what you think would be best for the story.
Thank you, Terry. Let's see. Nacho, you got your hand up. If I could figure out how to. There we go.
Yeah, this was a fun read. I think I'm still not really clear on the show concept, so maybe it sounds like you're kind of still working that out or figuring out the series logline. What you're saying is kind of like the main character is Max, but then it's sort of I'm not quite clear between Max or his brother or whatever. But maybe we can talk about that after you have a maybe an outline or something that you want to share. I would say, like, just to go over your questions that you're looking for. I mean, so you can totally follow someone. I mean, it's a little different, again, like a movie versus a TV show, right? So imagine a TV show, multiple seasons following someone who is, kind of a bad guy. Look at the other shows that do this, Dexter, Boardwalk Empire, Breaking Bad, Sopranos. There are always like people that are worse. Even in Hannibal, I guess you could argue that Hannibal is not the protagonist. He's maybe it's some of his or whatever, but like, you know, the protagonist is like the guy who's sort of solving the mystery of Hannibal or trying to catch him. But even Hannibal has other people that are even him in the show, right? So I think that that would be key to like getting us to not, we don't have to like the character, but we have to like at least be invested in his goals and what he's trying to do and root for him. Like that's otherwise there's nothing to watch, right? So this could be a really interesting opening. It's like your intent is show somebody that seems like there's no way we would like root for this guy, and then through the course of a 1 hour pilot make us really care and root for this person. That could be interesting if you can pull that off. I think if you were to switch the roles, you know, the guy is just there. It doesn't really have anything like physical strength or anything. I mean, it's just there's, you know, Emma's like tied up. And it just kicks her off. So I don't really see. I guess I'd have to know more about the story to understand. But you know, this could totally be a female character who is this kind of anti-hero, and that would be interesting. I don't think we've seen many female anti-hero characters. Maybe Nurse Ratched, I guess, was kind of like that, but maybe I don't know. So there are two options: less violent one. Max is holding Emma over the beam, more killing rather than showing off. I don't quite understand, but if something is too violent, would I stop reading? No, I would. It doesn't make me stop reading. Given the dynamic. So I think I answered your questions. So yeah, just in terms of like this scene, it doesn't really work as a conflict scene because, you know, I think this is Max's scene, not Emma's, and Max is not really having anything difficult to accomplish in the scene. So he doesn't really have any obstacles. Emma, you know, if you were to kind of more into Emma's point of view, and then it could be Emma's scene, and that could maybe work in terms of her being in a really difficult position. But it feels more like this is kind of like you know, sort of like a discovery scene, right? Where there's maybe not a clear goal or something, but we're, you know, introducing mysterious situation, these characters, why is this happening? You know, why is the mayor throwing somebody off? I mean, those are interesting enough questions to make me keep reading. The scene, I think, may be a bit long. I've noticed, I think in a previous script that we read of yours, there was like a really cool line like in the middle, and it just felt like, wow, that's like a really nice, you know, way to end the scene. And I think the same thing is here too. Is here true on page 2, you have this line, this isn't an opinionated piece, this is a prophecy. I mean, that's almost feels like a really cool line to kind of like end the scene. I'm not sure if maybe adjusting or conveying whatever exposition you need to convey a little bit before that could be interesting. Like he says that and then he just throws her off, you know, and something about, you know, yeah, like this is a mayor doing this. That's interesting enough to make us want to keep reading. I think just maybe I would try to get it down to about 2 pages because it feels like about a 2-page scene. So yeah, just a couple things just for kind of confusion, just like a little bit confusing. I think when you introduce a character and you have like a couple sort of phrases in parenthesis, like burns, 39, tears flowing, smeared makeup, shivers in her black dress. And then right after that, you have a verb like wails hysterically. So it's just a little bit kind of just slows down the read a little bit if you're including like a verb like shivers in her black dress and then hysterically. It just kind of makes us, you know, like, does that make sense? So you might end the parenthesis after, you know, 39, tears flowing, smeared makeup, end parenthesis, you know, shivers in her black dress, you know, as she wails or something, right? Like you got it just like, and you did that again on the Max Willix. So Max Willix, 32, self-identified incel, rocks a bloody 3-piece suit in dark glasses, steps, right? So you got like 2 different verbs there, and it just kind of throws us off a little. So you could just say like self-identified incel, bloody three-piece suit and shades steps onto the beam, something like that, right? Like just, you know, just bear in mind a little bit if there's kind of two verbs like that, we're like, oh, what's the verb of this sentence, I guess. But this is just really minor stuff. And you have on page 3 an expression of despair / fear is over Emma's face. I think that just, you know, just reads a little awkward for me. And then when Emma careens toward the ground at breakneck speed, she closes her eyes, prays internally. Okay, you can't you can't have it both ways. So she can't be moving at breakneck speed and also slow motion, have time to close her eyes and pray, right? So I would say like either this like slow motion, or you just see something, you know, the shape just slam into the ground. And I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, that was just, these are small things, but it's really great. I really enjoy your writing on the page, and you know, look forward to reading more of your stuff.
Thanks, Nacho. Looks like we've gotten through actors, everyone who in the audience. Let's see. Needless to say, like, I have complicated thoughts on this, given the feedback you're looking for and my relationship with the content and all of that. Because, like, having suffered bullying in my life, but also some of that relating to being having immodest things screeched at me as I tried to take a walk around the neighborhood and just, ugh. Again, it's hard for me to come up with a coherent, intelligible thoughts on this that will help you write it. And I think I put in the chat earlier that I doubt my ability to sympathize with Max after this. I could be fascinated just to see how this kind of person works. But I'm only speaking for myself. I can't speak for audiences in general. But when I have more of a solid and helpful stance on the script, I will report back. But yeah, thank you for sharing, Zach, and thank you, all of you who gave feedback and our actors. Oh, and that's fine, Zach. I don't mind you guys like bringing stuff like this to the read. But yeah, do you have anything else to talk about, Zach? We can invite you back up. Or if you want to type it, I can read it out loud. All right. Well, yeah, everyone, good job with that. Unfortunately, due to some confusion, I thought we were going to get more submissions this week, and I neglected to take a bunch of time to prepare a script. But since we only ended up with 2 submissions, I settled on us reading Coraline, which I think if any of you were in the animation writers group at Halloween, we got through a little bit of it. I'm going to link the script now. There it is in the chat. Merrickson, do you care about spoilers? Okay. Regardless, even if like you already know the story by the end of this, like reading won't do it justice. It has fantastic visuals, a fantastic score by Bruno Collet, one of my favorite score writers. But it did get rerun a lot in 2009, yeah, Morgana. But yes, and another reason I settled on this script is because a lot of the characters are just duplicates of themselves in another world, so we can essentially have everyone voicing at least 2 characters by merit of voicing 1. And I've chosen to cover a lot of the extras for myself because I just like having extra lines, minimize the chance of people not knowing where we are or missing a line. But yeah, I'm going to go down this list I have of the different parts. And I will post the list after we've gotten through it. And if you do volunteer to read for this script, be aware that, like, it's an entire movie. So you might be here a while. But yeah. Anyone for the part of Coraline, the main character? Oh, man.
All right,
Oh, you want to be Coraline, Morgana?
sure.
Thank you. And we have, like, the mom / the other mother. I don't know why the script does this, but it calls her all these different names. So you would be voicing Mel / other mother / tall other mother / mother / Beldam, which I'm going to post that in the chat, but be aware, you'll have to pay attention. So, anyone for that part?
I'd love to, but my voice is too deep. I'm
that's-
afraid I'm gonna have to reserve myself for some of the male
That's
voices.
not a problem. I think you would do it great.
No,
It doesn't
I've
need to
got
go through-
another character in mind I'd like to play.
Aw, who is it?
Are we allowed multiple characters?
Yeah. Well,
'Cause-
depending on if they interact or not.
okay, they probably won't. I'm thinking the dad and Mr. Bobinski.
Oh, okay, got it. Sounds good. And those are great characters, so I think it'll be fun. That actually opens up some other characters that I can do.
This is one of my favorite movies ever.
It's so amazing. Do you like the music too, or like what's your favorite part of it?
Oh, I love everything about it. The music is so creepy, but also like childlike and kind of free. And I love the animation style. I've always loved stop motion ever since I was a kid. I watched Nightmare Before Christmas. I loved it. Big fan of Tim Burton's Corpse Bride, and yeah, Coraline is just one of the best. It's my favorite of all of them.
Awesome. It's so freaky. I love how they didn't like give a shit that it was too scary for kids.
Yes,
There's
no,
like
they
there's no
made it
violence
freaky.
or anything, but it will give you nightmares. It will be emblazoned into the back of your eyelids for as long as you live, and I think that's great. But I'm just going to start posting the names and parts in Table Reads info. I'm also going to post them in the chat we're using right here.
April, it's 2 miles to the theater.
It's oolong, Miriam. Love
No, it's Jasmine.
oolong.
Jasmine.
Oolong.
Jasmine.
Oolong.
Oh my lord. Neil Gaiman has a Tumblr. For those of you who don't know, he's the one who wrote the original book. And I think someone said an asking like, are Miss Spink and Forcible, like, are they together? Are they dating? And I don't remember the exact answer, but he replied with something like, they're never married, so they're never divorceable.
Actually, I'd like to trade out one of my characters. Instead of Charlie, I'd like to be Miss Forcible.
Oh boy. Sounds good. There we go.
All right, we're gonna need a lot of volunteers, you people in the audience.
Oh, hang on. Let me. And while we're on that subject, does Okay, Marcus, you wanted
What did Miss Spink? Yeah.
YB. Got it. Yeah, I think so far.
Why were you
Sounds good.
born?
Why were you born?
Get Dan. Get Dan as Charlie. Dan as Charlie would go so insane.
Okay.
Yeah, Dan would be a
Um,
much better Charlie than me.
I just need to know how long this is going to be because I may have to. I don't know if I'm going to be able to last the whole time. Got some things possibly.
And the character doesn't last the whole time, so you're
I-
good.
I was just going to mention to anyone who's on a tablet, sometimes you may have to turn sideways to view the accept, to click the invite.
Let me pull up this script.
If you're on a tablet, it's like you might not see it.
Thanks, Nacho. But yeah, Dan, we're like, I plan to read the entire thing, but if you don't last the entire time, Violin, would you like to pick up the part?
Sorry, what?
Dan says that he might not be able to stay the entire time.
Oh, yeah, if Dan's not able to stay, I can pick up the part.
Okay, thank you.
Move myself. Also, please say good morning to me. I just woke up. I've been listening while sleeping.
Good night.
Good morning. Don't say
Okay,
good night.
thanks.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Oh, Lord.
Thank you.
How long is this script?
Movie.
Or
I will be right back, but I will take a part. I'll be right back.
Okay.
he's gonna have breakfast.
I will take whatever part you give me.
Okay. I'm looking back through to make sure I didn't. Okay, so Marcus, you're YB and Spink. Violin is Bobinski and potentially Charlie if Dan leaves.
And Miss
And-
Forcible.
Okay, yes, M is forcible.
When we are reading the whole script, so it's 115 pages, yes.
Woo,
Long script.
big old ding dang script.
I'm gonna be reading the direction. Oh my god. I pray for you.
Yeah, no, I will. I am always.
This will be a set-in time, which will be good.
What?
Yes.
I didn't. Ah. Sorry. Oh, did Merrickson already leave? Ah, dang it.
Hopefully not, but
No, I don't see
So.
Merrickson. Oh, wait. Yeah, that was a while back. I've been hip hopping around Windows trying to keep up. But, yes. I wrote Taffy script instead of Taffy monster. That's how out of it I am right now. But yes, Violin and Marcus, towards the end, if you know what I'm talking about, you'll also be voicing the Taffy monster. Both of you at the same time. So.
Nice.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yep.
Give it back. Give it back.
I'm excited.
All right. So we have the other mother open. Is anyone else dying to play the other mother?
do you remember? Are they a good role?
They are not. Well, they're an awesome role. They're a bad person.
Oh, that's
They're not a
fair.
person.
Oh, I thought the person who plays Mel should also play the other mother.
Wait, who did I get to play Mel?
Because Mel is the real mom.
That's true. So
who
yeah,
did
you
get
would be
to play Mel?
voicing. Yeah. Anyone who picks up the other mother is also voicing Mel. Sorry, I overlooked that. But yeah, does that sound good, Roman? Do you want to voice the mom?
Yes.
And okay, great. Thank you, Roman.
So it's Bad Mom?
You're doing all the moms. Pretty much never mom is mentioned.
Okay.
I might have to leave at 8
Mom.
because, so if anyone wants to switch, I know this is the main character. I don't know how long it's going to last.
Oh, I can do that. If you want, I'm your understudy.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah. I can do another character, smaller character. I don't know what Lasagna had. You can
I
just
don't think we
switch.
cast Lasagna yet, so we'll swap
Okay.
out Coraline for Lasagna then. And oh boy. See, we've gone through like all the main characters outside the cat. If anyone wants to be the cat, that can stay the whole time. Meow.
I will be a
All-
cat if you want.
I'm more of a dog person.
Thank you. Aw, how could you?
Can all the cat lines just be read like that? Just meow.
Meow, 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 meow.
Yeah.
I'm not under anything. I'm me. Meow, meow.
Who's taking the role of Charlie?
That would be.
Dan.
Wait, no. Did
Right.
Dan say Dan could be here a while, but then if Dan leaves, we're
Okay,
staying.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting one
But
out of
yeah.
time.
Because Dan's voice is deep enough for that.
To be honest, we
That's
don't really
true.
class based on voices or genders. Or
Yeah, we're not
anything,
going
so
for an accurate reinterpretation.
we're
So
just reading the words.
We're reading to learn, guys. We're not reading to play actor.
Play
yeah.
actor.
Although I do encourage you to have fun. So
But
This world is a dream
you know what?
true.
I'm just
But
there.
you're
You go.
wrong.
Thank you.
Sorry, what was that?
But no, whoever just
uploaded
I'm
the
assuming
script
it's Marcus,
yet?
but whoever just did that amazing impression.
That was me.
Wait, hang on. I'm looking at the.
That
Okay,
was violin.
sorry. Wait, Roman. Wait,
Roman's back in the.
where did Roman go?
Roman's back down there.
Roman, don't
Why
move
does
up.
it say you requested to
Roman's got
speak, but you're not?
shy.
Wait, please, God,
Oh, my
invite to
hands.
speak. Okay, okay, yes. There we go.
Please don't move back into the audience because it's a pain in the backside.
It's
Get you back up.
wait.
You man, you
How
can do it
keep on
myself.
getting back into the audience? Is this a glitch in the matrix?
There we go.
Okay.
I am here. I
Okay.
had to switch over because I was glitching out. Sorry, but I should be good now.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, we good to start?
Did
Yeah.
you send the script?
I sent it's online. It's on ScriptSlug. So I sent a link that is probably buried now.
I can post the link again. Hang on.
Thank you.
And
There
as
you go.
always,
Oh,
it
I
is
found it
on
in Table
the
Reads info.
stream.
And it is on the stream, yes.
It's on stream and it's in
I will
chat
be
as
following
well,
on
so
stream.
cool.
I like to be able to read it in the thing. Download it again. I never downloaded this.
But yeah. I've decided that I'm going to be all the extras.
I might take
Sounds
over from
good.
time to time just to give your voice a rest because you're already
That's
reading the direction. So I'll
Yeah,
take
it's just like
some
none
extras.
of the parts are big enough to like justify giving them to any one person, but
Well, no,
they're
if I
I'll
read
be
all
the
the,
bad dog.
I'll read all the extras. I'll take the extras, and you just take direction.
okay. Sounds
I
good.
could be the bad dogs
No,
when they
they
show
don't
up.
have lines, I think.
They don't.
Just,
Yeah, no.
Can you just make hissing noises or whatever noises?
Yeah.
I guess they bark if they're bat dogs, but
Oh wow.
Yeah.
why does it want me to? You guys still awake out there?
Yeah, we're good.
I had stuff all like set up, but everyone loves this movie as much as I do. Let's see, Roman and
Crash. I
Osaka.
crashed.
I'm the mother. I'm the moms.
Yes, you're all the moms.
Hello,
Candace
Mom.
comes and kicks down the door and says, "Mom, that's you." All right.
Coraline Jones.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I'll do my interpretation of the character, not necessarily an impression, but
Yeah,
Oh, you
I
guys
mean,
do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Like lasagna, if you want to speak like Gonzo, just do it. Like it's just our reading. But thank you so much, all of you who signed up to read.
I
It
wish
means
I
a
could
lot
do
to me.
Gonzo.
I'm
But
glad.
without further ado, here we go. Coraline, screenplay by Henry Selick, based on the novel by Neil Gaiman. Head credit sequence. Hang on. Is there a way for me to pop out the window? Oh, I just had to close the chat. Head credit sequence. Mysterious sewing room. Night. A haunting lullaby plays against a black star-pricked sky when something appears in the distance. A button-eyed doll floats towards... I'm gonna choke on myself a lot. Ah, jeez. So the doll floats towards camera through the open window of a small sewing room where it lands in a pair of waiting hands, hands that are made of sewing needles. The doll, which resembles a young black girl in old-fashioned clothes, hair fixed with ribbons and braids, is placed on a sewing table. An elaborate sewing kit is opened, and in flickering green light, the needle hands go to work. The doll's old clothes are cut away, button eyes torn off, hair pulled out. The doll's stuffing is removed, and then the empty cloth body is pulled inside out, turning from nut brown to pale pink. Sawdust is poured in the new doll's mouth, facial features added, blue yarn hair punched in, and then a fresh pair of shiny black button eyes is selected from a button drawer. The transformed doll, in a little yellow raincoat, his new button eyes affixed, is released out the window and back into the night. Last head credit appears, then fades. Exterior, Pink Palace, Ashland, Oregon, day. Wide angle on a rambling old Queen Anne-style house with tacked-on outside stairs. It's late winter, the sky a damp gray sponge. A sign in the foreground reads, Pink Palace, apartment for rent. Mr. Bobinski, a 7-foot-tall blue-skinned man, performs calisthenics on the rooftop, counting in Russian.
Раз, два, три, четыре. Раз, два, три, четыре. Раз, два, три.
A beeping sound begins and he pauses. A tired moving van backs into frame and up the muddy driveway. A VW Beetle. Volkswagen Beetle?
Yeah.
I don't know cars. Suitcase is roped to its top, recklessly passes the truck and disappears around the side of the house. Bobinski shakes his fist angrily after the car and shouts,
You're savage!
He marches away indignantly. One of the movers, unseen in the truck, speaks to his companion.
We're here. Time to muscle up.
Angle on, moving truck's rear doors as they're wrenched open by two men. Mover 1, tall and bear-shaped, and Mover 2, built like a brick top, to reveal a lot of boxes and beat-up furniture. They haul out the loading ramp towards camera. New angle, exterior stairs to basement flat. April Spink, a rotund little old English lady with bad legs, surveys the movers as they pass by her chairlift with boxes and furniture. The old gal can't wait to tell her flatmate below about the young, strapping men. Meant to roll the R there.
Got it? Almost there. Just a few more. Come on, now, lift.
Angle on front porch. The job finished, Mover 2 heads down the front steps while Mover 1 waits for a signature from the unseen but for his hands new tenant. Papers signed, a tip of a single grubby dollar bill is placed in the outstretched hand of the disappointed mover, and the door is shut. Exterior house, review, same. Angle of a backyard. Hiding behind shrubs, we share the point of view of a mysterious spy. With a click, a close-up lens is rotated into place to better see the movers quietly pack into the truck and drive away. A mangy black cat walks right in front of the lens and looks at us with concern. Off-screen, a door bangs open. We follow the cat as it races up a tree and out a branch towards the back porch to investigate. Coraline Jones, 11, steps onto the porch in a yellow raincoat with a shoulder bag. We, spy's point of view, click to a close-up to find this new tenant has blue hair and a skeptical face. New angle, non-spy reverse on Coraline as she glances furtively over her shoulder, then hops down the steps and moves diagonally away from the house. New angle, spy point of view. We watch Coraline head towards the woody shrub we've hidden ourselves in. We duck down. Angle on Coraline, non-spy. Shrub by garden gate. She reaches into the shrub and breaks off a forked branch. She removes the stick's red leaves and aims it like a dowsing rod and heads into the garden. Cam pushed in to shrub as the spy rises up, wearing a three-eyed skeleton mask on his head and the skeleton gloves on his hands. The black cat hops into frame, glances at the spy, and follows the girl. Montage varies. Exterior same. A fish pond and garden same. Coraline explores the drained, crumbling pond. She finds an old turtle shell in the muck and holds it up. After rapping on it to make sure it's empty, she puts the shell into her shoulder bag. Angle on Caroline. What? Oh my god, I got her name wrong. The script itself.
Oh
Coraline.
my god.
Whoa.
Oh my. She can't catch a break, I swear. Angle on Coraline. Spy point of view.
Coraline.
Maybe it's like because it's YB and like because he would assume her name is Caroline, but like he doesn't know yet. I don't know.
That'd be kind of. That'd be
Spy point of
immersive, but.
I have no idea. Spy point of view, we push aside dead vines on the railing of the garden bridge for a better look. Coraline aims her forked stick once more, then follows it up from the pond and out the back gate. A gust of wind blows dead leaves into a swirling eddy. We track high up into the air. Dissolve 2, rocky path high above house, a little later. Spy point of view on sky, now dark with gathering storm. Hidden behind a natural wall of stones, we tilt down to view Coraline crossing frame on a steep hillside path. She steps on an old railroad's tie, and her foot sinks into the rotted wood, stopping her. We lean out for a better view and dislodge some stones that roll past her. We duck as she jerks her head our way. New angle, non-spy. Unnerved, Coraline calls out.
Hello? Who's there?
She throws a rock under the wall of stones, hits the unseen spy, causing a cry of pain. Animal? Human? Freaked out, she gasps, running down the trail. New angle, spy point of view. We rise up to watch, and the black cat hops into the stone wall. Exterior, overgrown orchard, continuous. Coraline races down past an old tractor and into an orchard. Wind begins to blow. New angle as we move beside Coraline through the old apple trees, where she nearly trips on the tongue of a harvest cart. Down angle on Coraline as she backs into a circle of toadstools in front of a stump. Breathing hard, she looks out for her pursuer. New angle. The black cat shoots past Coraline in the tall grass. She can't see him, but now she knows something is there. Already behind her now, the cat leaps onto the stump with a loud, warning meow. Startled, Coraline yells and whips around. She's both angry and relieved when she sees it's just some cat.
You scared me to death, you mangy thing.
Cat glares at her with blue opal eyes, makes a low growl as she stands. She exhales.
I'm just looking for an old well. Know it?
Cat blinks eyes slowly.
Not talking, huh?
The wind picks up. She grasps the forks of her stick, closes her eyes, and tracing a figure 8 above her says,
Magic Dowser, show me the well.
Angle on Coraline from high bluff. The spy moves into frame, astride some kind of motorbike. He presses a button on the handlebars and blasts a loud air horn. Startled, Coraline spins around. Up angle on sky. As lightning flashes and thunder rolls, Coraline sees him for the first time, with his turret-lens skull mask and skeleton gloves and black fireman's coat flapping in the wind. He looks like a psycho killer. He revs his motor, pops a wheelie, then swoops down the bluff towards her. She hollers in fear, then tries to whack him with her forked stick.
Get away from me!
He snatches it from her as he passes, knocking her to the ground. He side-skids his bike, hops off, and jumps up onto the stump. Looking 10 feet tall from the ground, thunder and lightning at a peak. The spy turns his three-eyed turret lens and studies her like a predatory alien. And then the thunder and lightning just fade out, and this psycho killer, three-eyed spy pulls off his mask, and Coraline gasps. It's just a short kid in a costume. Shoulders hunched, neck bent. The spy. Real name YB Lovet. Age 12. Dork. Nerd. Dorkulus Supreme. Coraline's forked stick aims it around.
Oh, let me guess. You're from Texas or Utah? Someplace dried out and barren, right? I heard about water witching before, but it doesn't make sense. I mean, it's just like an ordinary branch.
That will never not impress me. Coraline snatches it from his gloved hands.
It's a dowsing rod!
Coraline smacks YB.
Ow!
And I don't like being stalked. not by psycho nerds or their cats.
He crouches, nervous, to scratch the cat behind his ears.
He's not really my cat. He's kind of feral, wild. Of course, I do feed him every night, and sometimes he comes in my window and brings me little dead things.
The cat purrs like a diesel.
Look, I'm from Pontiac,
Huh?
Michigan, and if I'm a water witch, then where's the secret well?
Not too hard and you'll fall into it.
Coraline reacts, hops out of the springy circle. The boy scrapes at the ground, revealing a circular covering made of wooden planks. He wedges a fallen branch under one side and, using a rock for the fulcrum, pries up the covering.
See? It's supposed to be so deep if you fell to the bottom and you looked up, you'd see a sky full of stars in the middle of the day.
Huh.
Her frown relaxes, and the black cat tilts his head, noticing her change in tone. He steps off the branch, and the well cover's thumps in place.
Surprised she let you move in.
Jerks his head towards the pink house in the distance.
My, grandma, she owns the Pink Palace. Won't rent to people with kids.
What do you mean?
I'm not supposed to talk about it.
Changing the subject, he lifts a gloved hand to shake.
I'm Wybie Lovett.
Wybie?
Short for Y-born. Not my idea, of course. What did you get saddled with?
I wasn't saddled with anything. It's Coraline.
Caroline what?
Coraline. Coraline Jones.
Not real scientific. But I heard an ordinary name, like Caroline.
Her face goes as dark as the rain clouds above.
Can lead people to have ordinary expectations about a person.
Wow!
Wait, did I? Thank you.
I think I heard someone calling you Wyborn.
What? I didn't hear anything.
Oh, I definitely heard someone. Why were you born?
A distant dinner bell clangs.
Wyborn!
Grandma.
He holds up his hands in surrender, nodding with eyes closed, forcing some laughs.
Great to meet a Michigan water witch.
He picks up his bike, wheels it around, then holds up his gloved hands.
But I'd wear gloves next time.
Why?
He points to her dowsing rod, nods.
'Cause that dowsing rod of yours, it's poison oak.
Eh.
But that's okay, Dan. We'll see you next time. Coraline drops the stick as he zooms away and wipes her hands on her clothes. The cat meows at her, shaking his head with a pitying look, then trots away after Wybie. She sticks out her tongue at him. She looks down at the covering on the well. Coraline finds a pebble and drops it through a small knothole. Ear at the knothole, she counts until there's a watery plop far below. Fat raindrops start to fall around her. Rotate dissolve 2. Interior kitchen next morning. It's pouring out. Coraline looks out a window at the dead-looking garden and places packets of seeds, pumpkins, squash, snapdragons, bleeding hearts, on the sill. She's developed a reddish rash, poison oak on one hand. The main floor kitchen, like most things in the Pink Palace, is barely maintained and looks worn and faded. Coraline's mother, Mel Jones, 40, bangs away at her laptop on the table, moving boxes stacked nearby. She's plain-looking and tired and wears a neck brace.
I almost fell down a well yesterday, Mom.
Uh-huh.
I would have died.
That's nice.
Coraline scratches the rash on her hand, changes subject.
So can I go out? I think it's perfect weather for gardening.
No, Coraline. Rain makes mud. Mud makes a mess.
Marcus, your Wybie voice was awesome. Coraline turns to her.
But Mom, I want stuff growing when my friends come to visit. Isn't that why we moved here?
Something like that. But then we had the accident.
Wasn't my fault you hit that truck.
I never said it was.
I can't believe it. You and Dad get paid to write about plants and you hate dirt.
Mel stops typing, loses her patience.
Coraline, I don't have time for you right now. And you still have unpacking to do. Lots of unpacking.
That sounds exciting.
Mel remembers something.
Oh, some kid left this on the front porch.
Coraline walks over and is handed a newspaper-wrapped package. Attached note reads,
Sorry.
Sorry.
Hey, Jonesy, look what I found in Grandma's trunk. Look familiar? Wybie.
Thanks. Also, yeah, if there's like writing from anyone or voicemails or anything, just like if you're that character, you can go ahead. Sorry about that. She rips open the package and finds the button-eyed, blue-haired, yellow raincoat-wearing doll from the head credits. It's a little Coraline.
Huh? A little me? That's weird.
He crumples the note, both annoyed and charmed.
What's his name, anyway?
Wybie, and I'm way too old for dolls.
Coraline takes it with her and leaves the room. Interior study, same. Charlie Jones, 40, goose-necked and gangly with thinning dark hair, hunts and pecks at his ancient computer, surrounded by boxes of gardening magazines and empty coffee cups. Coraline, with doll, opens the squeaky door. He doesn't turn.
Hey, Dad, how's the writing going? Dad?
He ignores her reflection in his computer screen as he types away, green letters on black. She clears her throat.
Hello, Coraline. And Coraline doll.
Head
Do you
shake.
know where the garden tools are?
He hears
It's
rain
pouring.
outside.
It's pouring out there, isn't it?
It's just raining.
What did the boss say?
Don't even think about going out, Coraline Jones.
Oh, well, then you don't need the tools.
Coraline groans, stamps her feet. Charlie just taps harder on the keys. Pouting, she makes the door squeak, opening and shutting it till he can't take it anymore. He spins around.
You know, this house is 150 years old.
So?
So explore it.
He grabs a pen and pad, holds it
Go
out.
out and count all the doors and windows and write that down and list everything that's blue. Just let me work.
She rolls her eyes, takes paper and pen, and leaves. Capital impressions. Montage various same. Hallway near stairs. Also, this is where an awesome song in the soundtrack plays. It's called Exploration. Go listen to it. Hallway near stairs. Oh, it's amazing. Coraline with doll jumps on bump and carpet that moves with each jump. Laundry room / winter garden. She wipes off the misted glass so she and the doll can see out. Then writes in her pad. 7 leaky windows. A drop of water lands on the pad, smearing the ink. She adds, really, between 7 and leaky windows. Hallway near stairs. Coraline thumps the carpet bump again and pounds up the stairs. Parents' room / bathroom. A framed photo sits in the foreground on a bedside table. It shows a younger, happier Coraline with her parents by the bear fountain at the Detroit Zoo. Rack focused to bedroom door as it swings into the room, with Coraline hanging on it. She drops to the ground and, doll and pad in hand, decides to check out the bathroom. When she pulls aside the mildewed shower curtain, she finds 100 skittering silverfish bugs.
Ew!
Disgusted, she jumps into the tub and smashes as many as she can. She turns on the faucet to wash her hands, only to get soaked with rusty water from the shower head. She shakes out her hair. Hallway near stairs. Coraline pounds down the stairs, spots the carpet bump again in the hallway, and jumps on it. A closet door opens and a light on inside, and she goes to investigate. Water heater closet. Angle over water heater on Coraline. She jots down 1 rusty water heater in her pad. As she leaves, she flicks off the light switch, not noticing a note taped beside it that says, "Do not turn off." Interior study, same. Lights flicker, and then Charlie's computer dies. He hollers.
No. Go!
Interior hallway, same. Coraline reacts with guilty alarm. Runs back to the closet and interior closet, same. Spots the do not turn off note. She flips the light switch back on and gets out of there. Interior living room, same. The room is faded and cold with bare windows looking out of rain and gray. The floor is strewn with moving boxes, a few pieces of furniture, Charlie's old Nordic track. A few garden tools lean against one wall. A cardboard mattress box leans against a corner wall. Coraline enters, counting windows and doors to note in her pad. She sets the doll on a low table beside an open moving box and smiles. The box is filled with her mom's collection of snow globes. She takes out her favorite, the bear fountain at the Detroit Zoo, and shakes it. She studies the globe and sighs with homesickness. She sets it carefully on the fireplace mantel, then unwraps the rest of the snow globes and places them beside it. Over the mantel hangs a painting of a crying boy in blue, a scoop of ice cream melting on his shirt, his hand holding an empty cone. Coraline takes up pad and pen and adds to her list, muttering aloud.
One boring blue boy in a painfully boring painting, 4 incredibly boring windows, and no more doors.
He turns to grab the doll off the table by the snow globe box. It's gone.
All right, little me, where are you hiding?
Scanning the room, she spots the doll looking out from behind the mattress box leaned against the corner wall. This is starting to become a horror movie. Perplexed, she walks over and kneels down to grab the doll when she notices something on the wall behind the box. She shoves the box aside and discovers the outline of a small door that's been wallpapered over.
Hmm?
Intensely curious, she calls out to the kitchen.
Hey, Mom?
Interior kitchen, continuous. Mom, typing away, ignores her.
Where does this door go?
I'm really, really busy.
Interior living room, continuous. Coraline tries to open it, but there's no handle.
I think it's locked.
I don't know why there's no text there. Interior kitchen, continued. Improv.
Muttering and typing.
Interior kitchen, continuous.
Please.
Mel gets up, really annoyed. Big sigh.
Hello? Gray?
Did we lose you?
Gray died.
That's
Oh,
great.
no.
I'm taking a reading for a bit. She's muted herself, okay. Interior living room, same. She walks over to Coraline, looks at the outline of the door in the ratty old wallpaper.
Will you stop pestering me if I do this for you?
Coraline nods her head quickly, panting like a dog.
Fine.
She heads back to the kitchen. Interior, kitchen continuous. Mel opens a drawer, pushes a bunch of loose brass and nickel keys aside to find a small, sharp black key. Holds it up. Interior living room continuous. Mel cuts the wallpaper around the door and sticks the key in the lock. Coraline looks on, giddy with anticipation, the doll at her side. Mel turns the key and unlocks the door and pulls it open to reveal an unbroken brick wall. Coraline is totally disappointed.
Bricks? I don't get it.
So this man. Coraline scratches her wrist, rash with annoyance.
They must have closed this off when they divided up the house.
Mel gets up to leave.
You're kidding? Why is the door so small?
Gray, maybe try leaving and coming back in, because we can't hear you at all. Sorry, wait. Mel, leaving room, turns back and loses it.
We made a deal. Zip it.
She exits. Coraline makes annoyed sounds.
You didn't lock it.
Coraline pushes the little door shut, her head lowered. Exterior house, night. Wide angle on house. Pouring rain. We hear Charlie singing a song about Coraline. Badly.
Oh, my twitchy witchy girl.
Interior, kitchen sink. Charlie using an oven mitt to protect his hand. Takes a burnt up casserole dish from the oven while Mum closes up her laptop. Coraline sits at the table with her doll.
I think you are so nice. I give you bowls of porridge and I give you bowls of ice.
Charlie sets the dish on the table.
Cream.
Coraline pushes it away, disgusted.
Why don't you ever cook, Mom?
Just.
Hey,
Can you hear me?
Gray, welcome back.
Oh,
Yay!
woo, God, yelled out into the ether.
Coraline, we've been through this before. Your dad cooks, I clean, and you stay out of the way.
Coraline huffs.
I swear, I'll go food shopping soon as we finish the catalog. Try some of the chard. You need a vegetable.
It looks more like slime to me.
Well, it's slime or bedtime, Fusspot. Now what's it gonna be?
Coraline looks to her doll, cradles its head.
Think they're trying to poison me?
She makes the doll's head nod yes. Coraline rolls her eyes, looks up to the heavens, and... Thank you, Joel, for covering me. Interior Coraline's bedroom, same. Falls back, washed and dressed for bed on her pillow. Still raining out. Coraline puts the doll in the chair beside her, then scratches at her wrist. Origami dragonflies are strung between the tall, thin bedposts. The turtle shell she found in the garden sits up on a box. Her night lamp that projects stars and moons is warming up the bedside table. Despite her efforts at decorating, Coraline's new bedroom feels small and cold, cracked and faded. Coraline reaches for a framed photo that rests on a toy praying mantis by her night lamp. It's her two best friends from home, posing in the snow. Just posing in the snow. By her old school's marquee, its letters rearranged to spell Coraline goodbye, and touches her friends' faces with her fingertips.
Don't forget about me, guys. Okay?
She puts back the photo, hits the light switch over her bed, and looking over at the doll, sighs.
Good night, little me.
Her breathing slows, and, with the doll watching her, she starts to fall asleep. Interior Coraline's bedroom, dream time. Surreal mist swirls out at her window. Moons and stars slowly move across the walls. Something in the room goes t-t-t-t. Coraline sits up, awake. Something chitters under her bed. She leans over the bedside head first, peering underneath when a ghost-pale kangaroo mouse jumps out and bounds to the door. Interior hall, same. She gives chase, down the upper hall, down the stairs, snaps on the lower hall light, and sees it hop into the living room. And Lasagna, you are doing an awesome job. Interior living room, continuous. Coraline enters. The mouse edges out from beneath the sofa, then hops frantically towards a small door behind the wallpaper. Coraline runs and dives, but this door is open a crack, and the mouse escapes. Coraline grabs the door's edge and pulls it open. Instead of a brick wall, there is a dark, expanding tunnel, with the hopping mouse heading towards a bluish light at the far end.
Wow.
She catches her breath, pulls the door wider and crawls through. Interior passageway, continuous. Coraline moves forward, towards the light ahead. Interior other living room, continuous. Coraline steps out through the same little door, into what looks like the exact same living room she just left, only something is different. It feels deeper, more dimensional.
Huh?
She looks around, notices the painting over the fireplace. The crying blue boy is now smiling, his shirt clean and his ice cream back on its cone. From across the hall, warm light comes from the kitchen and the smell of delicious food wafts through her nose.
Something smells good.
Interior other kitchen, night. Coraline enters to see her mother cooking at the stove, wearing an apron and rooster head oven mitts. The light and colors are much warmer, and the details more perfect in this kitchen. Other mother is facing away from Coraline as she works.
Mom? What are you doing here in the middle of the night?
Her mother turns from the stove to greet her, and Coraline is dumbstruck. She's got buttons for eyes. She beams with happiness at Coraline's arrival.
Oh, you're just in time for supper, dear.
You're not my mother. My mother doesn't have...
Coraline points to her own eye.
Buttons? Do you like them?
She taps one with her nail.
I'm your other mother, silly. Now go tell your other father that supper's ready.
He opens the oven door, and the intoxicating perfume of great cooking fills the air. Coraline breathes it in, suddenly very hungry.
Well, go on. He's in his study.
Interior other hallway, same. Coraline goes down the hall and opens the study door. Interior other study, continuous. She sees the back of a man like her father, only with more hair. Instead of tapping away at his computer, though, he's picking notes on a baby grand piano.
Hello?
He turns around. He, too, has shiny button eyes. He seems happier and a little more handsome than real Dad, and wears an iridescent robe over polka dot pajamas, with orange slippers on his
Hello,
feet.
Coraline.
He smiles broadly.
Want to hear my new song?
My father can't play piano.
No need to. This piano plays me. Whoa.
Dr. Seuss gloves connected with rods and pulleys pop out of the piano's front and onto his hands. His hands raise up, then drop down to play pounding stride piano as other father sings out.
Making up a song about Coraline. She's a peach, she's a pal, she's a pal of mine. She's as cute as a button in the eyes of everyone who ever laid their eyes on Coraline.
Da, 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 da. Coraline is amazed as his hands fly.
When she comes around exploring, Mom and I will never ever make it boring. Our eyes will be on Coraline.
Oh, sublime. Anxious, she taps his shoulder to stop him.
Hi, sorry, but she said to tell you the food's ready.
Who's starving? Raise your hand. Oh.
He sticks his hand. I love that you remember every time he's like, ugh. He sticks his hand up still in a glove, and his other gloved hand slaps his face. She laughs, then covers her mouth. Interior other dining room, same. Other mother sets down a huge roasted chicken near Coraline on a table spread with candles, fine china, and silver, and a pineapple centerpiece. Figure 8 model train tracks circle twin Lazy Susans covered in dishes of potatoes, sweet peas, rolls, and corn. The other father seals this Norman Rockwell moment by making prayer hands and a
Give
solemn
our
face.
thanks and ask to bless our mother's golden naked breast.
He laughs with glee when a starting bell rings and it's time to eat. Other father really digs in while Coraline tries some chicken. Chicken.
This chicken is good.
Hungry, aren't you?
Do you have any gravy?
Well, here comes the gravy train. Choo choo.
Other mother giggles as a model train circles around the track, pulling a gravy boat car and blowing its whistle. The train goes in one side of the centerpiece and comes out on the other, slowing till the gravy boat lines up with Coraline's plate where it pours gravy on her potatoes.
Another roll, sweet peas? Corn on the cob?
Other mother looks on approvingly, not touching any food herself.
I'm really thirsty.
Of course.
A beautiful
Any
chandelier
requests?
drink
Mango
dispenser
milkshake?
descends. The dispenser spins, stops, and fills her glass while other mother presents dessert. A cake with candles that pop up and light themselves while with words, "Welcome home," write themselves in icing. Coraline is taken aback.
Home?
Her other parents squeeze each other's hands warmly.
We've been waiting for you, Coraline.
For me?
Yep. Wasn't the same without you, kiddo.
Coraline remains a little unsure.
I didn't know I had another mother.
Well, of course you do. Everyone does.
She smiles at Coraline, her button eyes gleaming.
Really?
Uh-huh. And soon, as you're through eating, I thought we'd play a game.
She taps her fingers a little too excitedly on the table.
You mean like hide and seek?
Perfect. Hide and seek in the rain.
What rain?
Thunder, lightning, and then rain appears outside the window.
Huh? What about the mud?
We love mud here.
Other mother rises, walks towards Coraline.
Mud facials, mud baths, mud pies. It's great for poison oak.
She takes Coraline's rashy hand, but Coraline pulls it away.
How'd you know I...
Coraline adjusts her tone.
I'd love to play, but I better get home to my other mother.
But I'm your other mother.
I mean my other mother. Mom number 1? I think I should get to bed.
Of course, sweetheart. It's all made up.
But...
Other father steps in beside her.
Come along, sleepyhead.
They lead her from the table towards the stairs to her bedroom. Interior, Coraline's other bedroom. Same. In this world, Coraline's bedroom is a dream come true. It is filled with rich color and light. There's a fire in the fireplace, a sheared, lacy canopy over her now beautiful bed, and her favorite toys are alive.
Wow.
Her origami dragonflies flare towards her. Hello, Coraline. Hello, hello. Imagine that was multiple dragonflies. Her blue squid greets her with a wave of its tentacle.
What's shaking, baby?
Thank you. Lasagna, say
Hello.
hello to the squid.
Sorry.
It's okay. The turtle shell she found circles her feet on clothespin legs, making panting sounds. She laughs, then hears two voices from beside her bed.
Hey, how's it going, Zumba?
Where's your Swampers and Toque? She jumps onto the bed, grabs the photo of her best friends from home, now alive in the photo.
Christ almighty.
How are you, my best trolls? How are my best trolls? I can't
This is
wait to
me.
see.
Coraline. That's
Oh,
Coraline.
sorry.
Christ almighty. How are my best trolls? I can't wait till summer. You're both coming, right?
We're already here, Coraline.
Gone to Oregon. Coraline grins hugely, then, exhausted, she yawns, stretching out her arms. The other mother, in the bedside chair, takes her hand and applies some soothing black mud to Coraline's poison oak rash.
Oh, mud.
The other mother gently tucks her in, then she and the other father smile at Coraline as she drifts off to sleep.
See you soon.
Full back match. Dissolve. Interior Coraline's real bedroom morning. Coraline awakens. She looks around expecting bright colors, a magic dragonfly. But it's just her normal room. Moving boxes, cracks in the ceiling. Nothing's changed. She notices the button-eyed doll on the chair where she left it, where the other mother was sitting. She picks it up, absent-mindedly goes on to scratch her wrist. She stops, noticing that the rash on her wrist is gone.
It's gone. My poison oak. It's gone.
Interior living room, same. Coraline goes to the little door, still ajar. She peeks behind and finds the wall of solid bricks. Yes, it was only a dream.
Huh?
She shakes her head and pushes the door shut. The kettle blows from the kitchen. Kitchen, day, ground fog out windows. Breakfast. Mel and Charlie finish their go-lean breakfast twigs and mugs of instant coffee. Preoccupied with their work, they half listen as Coraline recounts her dream, her breakfast untouched. Fog lies outside the windows.
It was incredibly real, Mom. Only you weren't really you. You were my other mother.
Buttons for eyes, huh? Coraline, you only dreamed that you ate all that chicken. Take your multivitamin at least.
Did the stream go away?
Yeah, I lost my.
I'm really sorry.
I lost
For
it
some
because
reason,
I was looking at the stream too.
yeah, it connected to my phone for some reason.
Let me see if I can
Sorry.
find our place in the...
Sorry, I'm getting
I
back
will.
up now.
Yeah, I'll get this.
It's on now.
What page were we on?
Stream.
We're on
James
page
back.
28.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, it's not numbered. Whoa.
Yeah, I'm trying to just go off context. Scrolling back up. You okay over there,
Okay.
Joel?
Let me go to back. We'll go to.
I got it.
Oh, okay. Okay, we're
Alright.
I
back.
don't know where we
Thanks,
are.
Joel.
We were on My Monkey Slippers Are Blue,
Yes.
which was my line, and then
Okay.
description.
He stands, puts his dishes in the sink, whispers over his shoulder.
Psst, hey, can you get me some of that magic mud you were talking about?
She points to her rash-free wrists. He nods.
Because I have a terrible case of writer's rash on my...
Mel clears her throat, interrupting.
If the real Charlie Jones wants his pages edited, he'd better wrap them up ASAP.
He crisply salutes her, turns on his heel, and marches out the door. Mel gets up to clear the table with Coraline.
Coraline, why don't you go visit downstairs? I bet those actresses would love to hear about your dream.
Miss Spink and Forcible? But you said they're dingbats.
Uh-huh.
Coraline sighs, gets up to go. Interior house, front porch, morning. It's drizzling, and a white fog has lowered over the house and grounds. Coraline, yellow rain poncho, garden shears in hand, opens the front door. Stepping out onto the porch, she trips on a big bundle of mail. Annoyed, she picks it up, starts leafing through the envelopes.
Bobinski, Bobinski, Bobinski.
Smells something bad, sniffs the envelopes. She goes down the front steps and finds a sign that reads Bobinski there, with an arrow that points up long, winding outside stairs. With an oh well shrug, she goes up. Exterior house, Bobinski's, continuous. At the top, she knocks on the door, a little anxious.
Hello?
She knocks again.
I think our mail got mixed up. Should I leave it outside, or...?
The door swings open. Curious, Coraline peeks inside. It's dark and cramped with something boiling on the stove and a caged chicken. Suddenly, a huge blue man swings down behind her and scolds.
Secret!
She whips around to find Mr. Bobinski, upside down, reaching right at her face. She ducks, and he reaches past her to his actual target, the doorknob, and pulls it shut. The Russian giant, dressed in a sleeveless t-shirt and shorts, pulls a raw beet from his pants. He's not happy.
Secret jumping mouse circus not ready. Little girl.
Circus? Oh, I brought this for you.
He holds out his mail. Bobinski takes it, smelling the stinky envelopes deeply. Nods approvingly.
Let me see.
Huh?
No cheese samples?
He swings down like a spider monkey and stands beside her on the balcony. Coraline backs away.
Very clever, using this mix-up to sneak into my home and pick at mushkas.
Miskas?
The mice.
Oh, sorry. I'm Coraline Jones.
And I am the amazing Bobinski. But you, call me Mr. B. Because amazing, I already know that I am.
He smells his mail again, makes please sound, then seems to fall off the side of the third-story porch. Coraline rushes over, looks down. He cartwheels in front of the porch, frilling behind her.
Ah! You see, Caroline, the problem is my new songs, they go oompa, oompa, but the jumping mice play only toodle-toot like that. Is nice, but not so much amazing. So, now, I switch to stronger cheese and soon, watch out!
He opens his door, crouches low and turns. He hands her a beet.
Here, have beet, make you strong. Das vidanya, Caroline.
He scuttles inside and slams the door shut. Coraline mutters.
Coraline.
Looking at the beet, she makes a disgusted sound and tosses it away, then heads down the stairs. Exterior house, south side yard, continuous. When she gets to the bottom, she starts towards the back, gardening shears out.
Oompa, oompa. Toodle toot, toodle toot.
Hey, Caroline, but that's Eve, wait!
She looks up.
No!
Bobinski leaps all the way to the ground, landing beside her out of breath.
The mice. They asked me to give you a message.
The jumping mice?
Mr. B nods gravely. He leans down, so close his mustache touches her ear, and whispers, his voice dead serious.
They are saying, do not go through little door. Do you know such a thing?
Coraline is startled.
The one behind the wallpaper? But it's all bricked up.
The old man shrugs, straightens.
Bah, so sorry. It's nothing. Sometimes the mice are little...
He points his head and rotates his finger.
Mixed up. They even get your name wrong, you know. They call you Coraline instead of Caroline. Not Caroline at all.
He starts back up the stairs.
Maybe I work them too hard.
Coraline stares after him. Exterior house, moments later. Shears in hand, Coraline approaches the family VW, where one pink suitcase remains tied to the roof. She snips it free and takes out her special hat, a black Japanese schoolboy's cap. Exterior house, stairwell downstairs flat, same. Coraline climbs down the stairs to the basement flat. At the door, she tries the comedy-tragedy door knocker and waits. Nothing. She glances down the doormat. It reads, "No whistling in the house." She peers through the door glass. A yapping dog suddenly leaps up inside, startling her. And a moment after, Miss Spink, wearing some sort of house robe, opens the door, and 3 Scotty dogs, how do you say it? Hamish?
Hamish.
Hamish,
Yeah.
okay. Thank you. Hamish, Jock, and Angus shoot out and surround Coraline. Spink tries to quiet them down.
Oh, cease your infernal yapping! Oh, how nice to see you, Caroline. Would you like to come in? We're playing cards.
Still Coraline, Miss Spink.
Miriam, put the kettle on.
Interior, Mrs. Spink and Forcible's flat, same. Miss Spink leads Coraline into the living area as Miss Forcible, taller and sporting a platinum wig and a very large bosom, prepares tea in the kitchen to the side. The dogs raise a head and jump onto the sofa. Help. Coraline scans the ladies used before him like King Lear and Julius sees her. Miss Forcible peers out her, half blind without her glasses.
April, I think you're being followed.
It's the new neighbor, Miriam. Caroline. She'll be having the oolong tea.
No. I'm so sure she'd prefer jasmine.
No, oolong.
Jasmine it is then.
Forcible grabs a handful of tea, puts it in the pot, and pours boiling water in.
Come on, boys.
The dogs leap off the sofa, and as Coraline takes their place, she looks to the side and sees a towering bookcase filled with stuffed Scotty dogs in knitted sweaters with angel wings.
Are those dogs real?
Our sweet departed angels. Couldn't bear to part with them, so we had them stuffed. Now there's Hamish the 3rd, the 4th, the 8th, the 9th, Angus the 2nd, the 5th, the...
Miss Forcible arrives with a tea tray and urges Coraline to take a candy as Spink goes on and on.
Oh, go on, have one, darling. It's hand-pulled taffy from Brighton. Best in the world.
Her fingers get stuck. Then her other hand gets stuck, trying to get the first hand out.
7th, the 3rd, the 9th, yes, the 4th, I'm right. And Jock Jr., Jock Sr., Jock the 3rd, the 4th.
Coraline, using her feet, finally unsticks the candy bowl, which flies up and sticks to the ceiling.
Oh, and that's Jock's 2nd cousin, twice removed.
He turns to Coraline, about to sip her tea. Spink indicates cup.
I'll read them if you like.
Read what?
Oh, your tea leaves, dear. They'll tell me your future. Drink up then. Go on.
Coraline gulps down the bitter brew.
No, not all of it, not all of it. That's right. Now hand it over.
Coraline passes her the cup. Spink puts a saucer on top and swirls it 3 times, removes the saucer, and peers in at the abstract leaf pattern. She purses her lips.
Oh, Caroline, Caroline, Caroline. You are in terrible danger.
Miss Forcible snorts.
Give me that cup, April. Your eyes are going.
My eyes? You're blind as a...
Spink passes the cup to Forcible, who adjusts thick glasses and peers closely into it.
Oh, no, oh, not to worry, child. It's good news. There's a tall, handsome beast in your future.
A what?
Miriam! Really, you're holding it wrong.
Spink forcibly rotates the cup.
See? Danger!
Coraline wants more information.
What do you see?
The ladies, head side by side, gaze into the cup. We see a spiky claw formed from the leaves.
I see a very peculiar hand.
Forcible rotates the cup back again. Upside down, the claw hand looks like a giraffe.
I see a giraffe.
Giraffe don't just fall from the sky, Miriam.
The stuck candy dish suddenly crashes to the floor.
Oh!
Oh, Lord!
Coraline asks in a practical voice.
Well, what should I do?
Never green in a dressing room.
Acquire a very tall stepladder.
And be very, very careful. Now, was there something you came to tell us?
Coraline thinks it over, then shakes her head.
No, I guess not. Thanks for the tea, though.
She gets up and leaves. The dogs immediately return to their sofa.
Toodaloo!
Cherry bye.
The ladies resume their card game, with Miss Spink turning to the dogs.
Do you have any nice queens for a mummy?
Exterior house, top of basement, flat stairs, same. Wonderful job, you two. Coraline climbs the stairs up to ground level, intrigued by her fortune.
Danger?
Behind her, a periscope rises from waist-deep fog. Coraline just catches it in her peripheral view. She frowns but doesn't let on she's aware of it. She walks ahead nonchalantly, the periscope following her, then suddenly turns and grabs it, pulling up Wybie, then punches him in the arm.
YB? Who did we
Listen-
have as YB?
Hello? Hello?
Oh god.
Can you hear me?
Okay, there you are.
Okay. Ow!
Great, the village stalker.
Ow! I wasn't stalking you. We're hunting banana slugs.
But Coraline hit Wybie so hard she just smote him out of existence. Wybie takes some salad tongs from a tool belt, snaps them.
What do you mean, we?
There's a soft meowing from under his coat. He opens it up, and the black cat emerges and climbs onto his shoulders.
Your cat's not wild. He's a wuss puss.
Cat glares at her angrily.
What? He hates getting his feet wet. Jeez.
Wuss puss.
Tired of her company, the cat jumps off Wybie onto a tree and up into the roof of the house. Coraline softens.
So, that doll, do you make it look like me?
Wybie, scanning under the ground fog for slugs, sticks his head up for a moment.
Oh no. I found it that way. It's older than Grandma. Old as his house, probably.
Coraline is highly skeptical. Wybie returns to his hunt.
Come on, blue hair, my swampers and raincoat.
Wybie stands excitedly and presents a huge yellow-green slug to Coraline.
Dang, check out! Slugzilla!
She's not impressed.
You're just like them.
Huh?
He looks from the slug to himself.
I met my parents. They don't listen to me either.
Wybie nods, not listening again, takes his camera.
You mind?
Hands it to her. She acts put out, but frames a shot. He signals he's ready, and she fires off one auto-flash shot after another as he strikes silly poses making sound effects. Horrified with the slug one moment, ready to eat it the next, pretending it's something from his nose in another, she can't help but giggle.
Ew!
Finished, Wybie tosses the slug back into the fog and takes the camera back. He lowers his head, thoughtful, then glances up past Coraline at the house. He sighs and speaks in a sad tone.
You know, I've never been inside the Pink Palace.
You're kidding.
Grandma would kill me. Thinks it's dangerous or something.
Dangerous?
Well, she had a twin sister.
So?
When they were kids, Grandma's sister disappeared. She says she was stolen.
Stolen?
Angle from roof. Over Cat's shoulder as dialogue continues. Cat senses something and turns. It's Coraline's doll at the window, looking like it's spying on things.
Well, what do you think?
I don't know.
Back to kids. YB, astride his electric bike now, whistles and the black cat jumps down from the roof onto his shoulders.
Maybe she just ran away.
We hear YB's agitated grandmother call out. Wyborn! YB turns away. He said too much.
Look, I gotta go.
He starts to pull away.
Wait a minute.
And he's gone. Push in on her pensive face. Interior Coraline's bedroom, night. Close up on doll face, back in the chair by the bed. Coraline takes some yellow cheese from her pocket and puts it by the door. Mice bait. She lies down and her breathing slows, the doll watching her with a nearly imperceptible smile on its face. Interior Coraline's bedroom, later. Coraline sleeping. Lighting suggests another dream. Some things go t-t-t-t. Coraline sits up, looks to her door, and spots a couple of kangaroo mice stealing the last bit of cheese. Interior upper hall, same. She gives chase after the mice, hopping down the stairs with the cheese. Interior living room, same. Coraline follows the kangaroo mice directly to the little door, opened a crack where they disappear. She pulls it open. Bricks are gone. Tunnel revealed. She doesn't hesitate this time to crawl through the door. Interior other kitchen, night. Coraline enters other kitchen to find other mother preparing a delicious breakfast. She looks prettier tonight, her black hair shining, lips redder. She stops humming a lullaby to greet Coraline.
Oh, welcome back, darling.
Hi.
She is grating yellow cheese onto scrambled eggs.
So thoughtful of you to send this nice cheddar, Coraline.
Cheddar? Oh, the mice bait.
Would you go fetch your father?
Beams at Coraline.
But he's so hungry as a pumpkin by now.
You mean my other father?
You bet. Your better father, dear. He's out in the garden.
But my parents don't have time to garden.
Other mother shusses her and pops a strawberry in her mouth.
Mmm.
Go on.
Coraline shrugs okay, starts with the door. Exterior study door to back porch, continuous. Looking out, she sees the broken down garden from the real world, still gray and lifeless in the dim light. Exterior other garden, same. Coraline opens the gate to the garden. A large crescent moon rises and things start to grow. 2 dead shrubs start to rise, then blossom. Then the blossoms themselves are lit up by some gold and amber hummingbirds. The hummingbirds circle around Coraline, light her dragonfly barrette, then continue on, lighting up pitcher plants that have grown up in a nearby flower bed. A beautiful frog pokes out of one blossom. The birds lead Coraline up steps past a stone wall where bleeding hearts grow and beat. She spots the other father, riding a praying mantis tractor on the hillside, planting seeds that instantly grow into flowering plants.
Hey!
I love your garden.
He waves back, calling.
Our garden, Coraline.
A gang of snapdragons goes at her, tickling Coraline till she falls down. Her squeals of delight grow into hysterical laughter.
Oh, stop tickling me.
The other father hears this and looks over.
Oop, daughter in distress.
He guns the tractor full speed over a little bridge, grabbing a gourd trumpet from a vine and blowing it. Jack-o'-lanterns surface in the ponds below and spout streams of water. Arriving beside Coraline, he waggles his finger at the naughty snapdragons.
Tickle no more, you dragon snappers.
Then he deftly cuts a bouquet of them and presents it to Coraline. She nods thanks.
Well, she says it's time for dinner. Breakfast? Food?
Hop on, kiddo. I want to show you something.
She does. The other father grabs the gear shift knob, pulls it, and the mechanical mantis sprouts wings. They rise in the air. Looking down, she sees the garden and a portrait of Coraline.
Oh, I can't believe you did this.
Mother said you'd like it. Boy, she knows you like the back of her hand.
He pulls a lever and they zoom out of frame. Interior, other kitchen, same. Coraline doesn't hold back this time. She stacks sausages on eggs on top of waffles, rolls it up and stuffs it into her mouth. The other mother feeds bits of sausage to the hungry snapdragon's bouquet, now in a vase.
So good.
I love dinner breakfast food.
Coraline, Mr. Bobinski has invited you to come see the jumping mice perform after dinner.
Really? That know-it-all Wybie said it was all in Mr. V's head. I knew I was wrong.
Well, everything's right in this world, kiddo.
Coraline hurries to shovel in the rest of her meal, while her other parents smile at one another.
Your father and I will clean up while you and your friend head upstairs.
My friend?
There's a knock at the door. Other mother opens it to reveal the other Wybie. He's cleaner, with better posture and cute button eyes.
Great, another Wybie. Hello, why were you born?
The boy nods, button eyes shining.
Hello?
He just makes a shy smile. Doesn't answer. She's confused.
I thought you'd like him more if he spoke a little less. So I fixed him.
So he can't talk at all?
Nope.
She looks other Wybie over appreciatively.
I like it.
Now, run along, you two, and have fun.
Coraline heads out the door with the mute boy. Exterior other estate house, same. The other house, lit by amber spotlights, looks magical with ornate gingerbread trim, glowing topiary in the yard. The kids come out the front door.
You're awful cheerful, considering you can't say anything.
Other YB nods in agreement. Coraline and he start up the stairs to Bobinski's.
It didn't hurt at all, did it, when she...
She points to her mouth. There's an awkward moment, and then he points past her, excitedly. A small blimp is flying towards Bobinski's door. That means it hurt. They run up the stairs and watch it slip through an opening above his door. Coraline knocks, and the door suddenly spins, throwing them inside. Interior, other Bobinski's flat, same. They somersault to a stop and sit up. Down 2 rows of small cannons that face each other. An amazing miniature circus has been set up with a Ferris wheel beside it.
Whoa, cool!
Coraline goes right to the Ferris wheel, where a mechanical chicken eats dried corn on the cob, fires up its belly, then poops out popcorn into paper bags. Other YB stomps a firing button, and cotton candy shoots out a cannon. He catches the cone, then starts firing off all the cannons. Coraline looks back to find him covered in the cotton candy.
Look at you!
Spotlights come on in the big top. The entrance opens, and a big voice is heard over loudspeakers.
Lady and gentlemen, for to tickle your eyes and ears and making a hearts to thump, I Sergei Alexander Bobinski. I'm introducing.
They race to the entrance, stoop down to crawl inside. Interior miniature big top, same.
My astonishing, stupendous, and amazing jumping mouse circus.
They sit between miniature grandstands and watch as a little blimp, bathed in spotlights, enters through a flap. It circles around, rising to the tops of the tent, then nosedives towards the ground. It crashes in the center of the circus ring and opens like a flower from which 50 jumping mice spring up like Chinese acrobats to spill out Coraline.
My name!
The jumping mice leap to the ground in formation, brandish tiny instruments, and drummers start pounding. I'm going to say this every 10 minutes, but the soundtrack here is great. The drum major mouse parachutes down and whips out a baton. On his signal, the group launch into a wild Russian circus march. Coraline, grinning, turns to the other YB.
Oh, it's wonderful, YB!
The boy smiles and nods to the beat of the bass drums as the hopping band marches in and out over changing formations. Pinwheels, X's, circles within circles. They hop. The hoppers begin to spiral to the center of the circus ring when the floor rises up from its center to form a 6-foot Tower of Babel. The mice hopping to the top. The drum major balances on the tippy top of a colorful circus ball.
Wow!
He runs the ball down and around the spiral as the mice hop off, and when he hits the ground, the tower drops away to reveal the other Mr. Bobinski. He cracks a whip. Coraline and other YB stand and clap. Other Bobinski, in a ringmaster's outfit with a full-length cape, bows graciously, doffing his tall black hat. His mustache is waxed, his eyes black buttons.
Yeah! That was great!
Very, very thank you, lady and gentlemen.
On cue, the entire jumping mice band disappears into other Mr. B's sleeves, while the drum major swings up from the man's mustache and onto his head, where he's quickly hidden by the tall black hat.
We loved it, Mr. B. It was so amazing!
You are very welcome anytime you like. You and also your good friend here.
He happily turns to other YB, beaming with joy.
Do svidaniya, Coraline.
Bobinski takes her hand to kiss it. Interior, Coraline's other bedroom, same. Other mother kisses sleeping Coraline's forehead, sits back in the bedside chair. Other father close by, pulls a candy cone off other YB and munches it. Coraline's other parents smile warmly, knowing wakes in own bed with the real world, the little doll, left on the chair, now clutched against her chest. Her gaze moves from the doll to where she left the cheese by the door. It's gone. This is much too confusing. Interior living room, same. Coraline tries the small door in the corner wall. It's locked. What the heck? Exterior, small office building in town. Day. Squealing breaks as the Jones Jeep pulls in front of Northwest Garden headquarters. Townsfolk in Shakespearean costumes stand about, advertising a local festival. Coraline is sharing her latest dream.
There were garden swashed like balloon animals and snapdragons.
On family, Coraline continues from the back seat so her father and mother review their work pages.
Oh, and upstairs, I saw a real mouse circus. Not pretend like the crazy man's in our house.
Her parents, preoccupied, ignore her.
You sure he won't come?
Don't fret, Charlie. They'll love the new catalog. At least, they'll love my chapters.
Gives her an aren't you funny look, opens door. Mel looks back at Coraline.
I did not call him crazy, Coraline. He's drunk.
She makes the hand-thumb bottle sign. Coraline leans into Coraline. Charlie leans into
Well, I guess I'll
Too
see
meta.
you around, you dizzy dreamer.
Coraline cuts him off, embarrassed.
Dad, I'm not 5 anymore.
Dad sighs, heads up, steps to his appointment as Mel and Coraline drive off. Interior uniforms, department store, same. President's Day sale. Mel piles gray blouses, a navy skirt, white socks into the arms of a clerk. Sitting alone on some stairs, Coraline sees a pair of fancy green and orange gloves. As she tries them out, a young rascal in costume with a sword bounces past her down the stairs on a wheeled step-stool, his father in pursuit. My kingdom for a horse. There's an
I was gonna
off-screen
try
crash.
this Doppler effect thing.
Oh yeah,
For a horse!
that's exactly
Right.
how it sounds. There's an off-screen crash, then the step-stool rolls back to Coraline. She gets an idea. Mel is checking out school blouses when Coraline rolls past first one direction then the other, modeling the colorful gloves. Without looking up, her mom tells her,
Put them back.
But Mom, the whole school's gonna wear boring gray clothes. No one will have these.
Put them back.
Coraline mutters.
My other mother would get them.
Maybe she should buy all your clothes.
Coraline scowls and stomps away to return the gloves. Interior car, same. Coraline and Mel are driving home, shopping bags in back.
So what do you think's in the other apartment?
I don't know. Not a family of Jones imposters.
Then why'd you lock the door?
Oh, I found some rat crap and I thought you'd feel safer.
They're jumping mice, Mom. And the dreams aren't dangerous. They're the most fun I've had since we moved here.
Your school might be fun.
With those stupid uniforms? Right.
Had to give it a try.
They pull into their driveway. Interior kitchen, same. Mel pulls out salsa, mustard, catsup, stale tortillas from the fridge.
How do you feel about a mustard ketchup salsa wrap for lunch?
Coraline, carrying in the bags from outside, makes a face.
Are you kidding me?
Had to go food shopping anyway. Dad's planning something special.
Coraline squinches up her nose.
Gross-gusting.
You want to come along? You can pick out something you like.
Coraline plops down in a chair.
Oh, like the gloves?
Mel reaches out and musses Coraline's hair. The girl pulls away.
Look, Coraline, if things go well today, I promise I'll make it up.
That's what you always say.
Mom rolls her eyes, shaking her head, and opens the door to leave.
Won't be long.
Shuts the door.
But I might be.
She leaves. Interior kitchen, same. Coraline pulls open the key drawer, looking for the small black key. Not there. She looks around and spots it hanging on a hook above a door. She stands on a chair and snags it. Interior living room, same. Coraline stoops in front of the small door and pushes the key into the keyhole and unlocks the door. She listens for her mother's car. Nothing. Grasping the key between thumb and forefinger, she closes her eyes. She pulls the door open. Angle on Coraline. A soft breeze moves her hair. There's something in my eye. Help. She knows before her eyes open that the bricks are gone.
I knew it was real.
She opens her eyes, smiles, and crawls forward. Angle of Coraline through window. Camera pulls back and we find the black cat, perched on the wet windowsill, observing Coraline as she disappears into the tunnel. With a look of concern, he exits frame. Interior other kitchen, night. Lunch is ready and waiting for her. Foot-long hot dogs with relish, grilled cheese sandwiches with gherkins. Where did it go? Curly fries, piles of coleslaw and potato salad, 5 flavors of soda pop. There's a note attached to a gift-wrapped box.
Dearest Coraline, Miss Spink and Miss Forcible have invited you downstairs after lunch. I hope you like the new outfit I made you. Love, Mother.
Coraline tears open the box and finds a pair of beautiful blue boots, black corduroy trousers, and a metallic gray sweater with twinkling stars. She holds up the sweater to her body, smiles, then puts down the clothes and digs into lunch. Exterior other house same. Coraline, dressed in her fancy new clothes, steps into the front porch and burps. It's always nighttime in this world. A cat meows. Coraline looks up to see a black cat on the porch roof above her. Coraline raises her brows, studies the animal a moment.
Wybie's got a cat like you at home. Not the quiet Wybie. The one that talks too much. You must be the other cat.
The cat leaps down and lands on the railing by the basement stairs. He shakes his head and speaks. Who did we?
I'm not the other end.
A lot of people left.
I'll take it.
Okay, thank you.
It was me.
No, I'm not the other anything. I'm me.
He tips his head to one side, opal blue eyes glinting. Coraline is surprised.
I can see you don't have button eyes, but if you're the same cat, how can you talk?
Joel, I can't hear you.
Oh no.
Hello?
Oh damn, everyone did leave.
Can you hear me now?
Shoot. Oh, Joel was the. Oh, that's right. Joel was the cat. Okay, I'm so sorry.
That's right. Can you hear me?
And you were muted.
Yeah,
I can hear you.
you're back.
Okay. Yeah, this is one of the reasons I find the stage a bit iffy. Hang on.
Yeah. This experiment didn't go very smoothly. Apologies, guys.
It's fine.
It's all your fault. No, I kid.
Oh,
Good to me.
I really, I'm kidding.
Do you guys want to keep on reading, or would you want to wait till next week or something? Since we have so
I'd
few
like to
people.
wait till next week. Cause I don't know if my attention span can stay now.
Yeah, I really
I didn't
I
wanna-
really gotta use the restroom and eat.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't want to strand you guys here if you had to go somewhere, yeah. But thank you all so much.
I didn't get to offer button eyes to her, but that's fine.
Well, you wait. I think. Oh, you haven't yet. Damn it.
No,
We'll pick-
no, it's all good. It's all good.
I'll pick up next week.
We can. Next time I'll start to go villainous, which is quite fun.
Yes. But yeah, thank you all so much for coming as always, and I will see you all next week.
Thank you.
Real quick, do we get coins for our participation today?
Yes,
Give us many because Violin did great and so did Roman and me.
I tried, although I don't think I captured it as perfectly as the
Oh, you
others did. But
It doesn't have to be.
I didn't capture anything. I don't remember this movie very well. I watched it when I was like 7 or something.
yeah, you should watch it again because I think you'd like deeply enjoy it nowadays.
But seriously, Violin, you're part of the voice acting community. Are you just that good?
I would love to be a voice actor, to be honest.
You should try.
A good one.
Yeah.
You should legitimately try.
I'd love to. Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and hand out coins. As always, thank
Toss me
you,
a coin,
Joel and
please.
Nacho,
Thank
for helping, not helping me stay organized, making me be organized despite everything. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time.
Thank you to Lasagna for getting me to participate at all.
Oh, you're welcome.
Great to have you here.
Yeah,
Bye bye.
it was
You
super
guys.
fun.